Today we are going to learn how to make a winter birch tree scene using a few simple tools. Blue paint, possibly white paint, watercolor paper, painter's tape, a paintbrush, and salt. The first thing we're going to do is we are going to use painter's tape and tape a border around each of the edges of the paper. Make sure you press it down so the edges are sealed nice and tight. Okay, now that we have our paper all ready, we're going to begin to make trees using the painter's tape. We're going to go from the top border to the bottom border. Now, if we use just a straight piece of tape, then it's going to look not as natural as if we were to tear some of the edge off of the tape, like this. Then we make a much more realistic kind of tree. Now add branches using some of the bits and pieces of the tape that you've pulled off. Make them rough on the edge too, because branches aren't all perfectly straight. For this next step, we are going to paint the background a dark blue. We're going to use water to wet down our blue paint, dark blue, and get it really watered down. So we are going to add lots of water to it. And then we're going to start painting the background, this dark blue. While it's still wet, we're going to sprinkle on some salt for texture. Okay, now that our picture has dried, we will brush off the salt from off of the picture. And as you can see, because I put a lot of salt on here, it added a lot of snowflakes, the little white spots on the picture. So if you don't want a lot of snowflakes and you want to leave it mostly dark, then don't add very much salt. Okay, so now we're going to brush it off. We're going to get that salt off of there. Okay, that feels pretty good. And now what we're going to do is we are going to carefully peel off the painter's tape so that we can add the rest of the details to the picture. Now we're going to use a smaller paintbrush like this one. It has a nice pointed tip that we can add the details to our picture. If we didn't have enough snowflakes, we could use the end of our paintbrush and dip it into white paint, and then we could add snowflakes that way too if we'd like. But I think we have plenty of snowflakes on this picture. So what we're going to do is we're going to water down this blue paint that we used and make it very, very watery so that there's hardly any color in it at all. And then we're going to add the little stripes on the side of the trees, on this side and this side, the right and the left. Some can be big, some can be little, so that it gives it that distinct texture of the birch bark. And we'll do that on all of the trees. Now using the same paint, we're going to water it down even more so that it is hardly any color at all. Because we are now going to make the shadow lines on the sides of the trees. And we're going to choose the same side of the tree, including the branches. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and remove the border. And there is our finished product.